We're at the incredible facility that is Creative Rides in Bryanston to do an interview with Joff van Renen, lead auctioneer of the business. But Joff, you describe yourself as more than just a lead auctioneer. You're the driver, you're the barista, you're the valuator, and you're very humble at that.
I just enjoy being on the block auctioning cars. And it's a lot of fun.
We look forward to sharing with you an incredible interview about, I believe, the most incredible collection of cars ever released in South Africa. Anyone who knows about classic cars knows the term barn find, but when you talk about a barn find, we're talking about a mid-1970s VW Beetle, a Mini 1275. Today we're talking about something radically different, 200 plus barn finds. Joff, what are we talking about in Berkeley East? It is amazing.
The biggest barn find in South African history. I've been an auctioneer for 30 years, never seen anything like it.
That is incredible. And when you came there and you saw the place, what was your expectations?
The same now, goosebumps. Expectations. What have we done? How on earth are we going to catalogue this? It's taken us 9 months.
Amazing.
Many visits, 9 months. It's so remote, there's not even cell phone signal there. That's why we haven't touched it, we haven't moved it, we haven't cleaned them. We've catalogued everything. We are auctioning them exactly as they stand.
But let's start at the beginning. The town of Berkeley East. You're probably thinking, where is that? I've heard of Berkeley West, Berkeley East, Somerset West. Not even close. But Berkeley East is in the mountains. There's no rust there.
Nothing.
It's not coastal.
Nope.
So these vehicles have been undercover for 40, 50, 60 years, some of them.
We don't really know. There's a staff member who's worked for the family for nearly 50 years, and he thinks earliest is 30 years ago. You can't even see the color of the cars.
Amazing.
But when you open them, that smell of that brand new German leather hits you in the face. The dashboards are perfect.
Incredible.
The Becker radios are perfect. The oxblood red leather. It's the most bizarre thing to see and explain.
Now, we're fascinated by the cars, but the cars are owned by one collector. We would call him a collector.
Yeah, Oom Louis.
Oom Louis. Tell us about Oom Louis.
He was a living legend, much loved by all, especially his family, a very private man. And unfortunately, when he passed away 3 years ago, the family phoned Creative Rides, our CEO, Kevin Derrick, who they know and trust very well. They've done business before, and said, please come and see us. And Kevin...
We've got something special for you. We just can't tell you what it is.
He said, well, can you please come and see us? And then I got the call a few days later from Kevin, and I said, I think there's a few cars to auction off in the Free State. I said, well, how many? He said, I think about 300 or 400. And we were in the middle of level 5 lockdown in COVID.
That is incredible.
The rest is history.
That is incredible. So when you've got 200 plus lots, this isn't a 2 or 3 hour auction. This is actually a week plus. Tell us about what's going to happen.
We're switching it on Monday, the 25th of March.
Online only?
Online only. There's no signal at the barns to have a live auction. We're switching it off 10 days later, the 3rd of April at 8 p.m. And probably by then, I think, with the extras the family are going to add on next week, we're probably going to surpass 400 lots. 400 lots.
Now, the buyers for this type of asset, from all over the country, naturally, and all over the world.
We've had calls from England, we've had calls from across Europe, we've had calls from United States, and a huge amount of calls from across the country. People wanting to know where this place is and how do they view. Most of those details we're going to release next week. But yeah, the response has been incredible. I think we released the teaser reel on Friday morning. That's already hit 10,000 views.
Wow.
In the space of a weekend. It's just something you will never see again in your life. And it's very, very special to see someone's love and passion. It's like walking into a time capsule. You've got to see it to believe it. And I don't think we'll ever see this again.
But now, one of the things that I always want to know, 200 plus cars. I mean, I have a decent car collection, 10. I thought I had the biggest car collection in South Africa. Apparently I don't. How do you collect 200 cars? Apparently some of the cars the family didn't even know he had bought.
No, the barn in Berkeley they didn't know about. That was his little secret stash. He had a love, as does his family have a love for. The love was passed on to generations. I don't know how you collect that much. Very, very carefully and over a very long period. We think it spans He must have collected over 6 decades.
Correct.
And there are some vehicles, crank handle tractors from the early 1900s, all the way up to a couple of S600s to the early 2000s. So
Amazing.
It's a century of cars.
So literally, as you said, over 6 decades, he didn't stop. Geoff, you've been doing this for a while, a long while, and Creative Rides is the go-to if you've got an old car. Your personal favorite from what you've seen there?
Wow.
Putting you on the spot, of course.
My personal favorite is probably something I saw in the big barn in Berkeley, a beautiful 300 SE black Fintail. That stands out.
And this is what, late 50s, early 60s?
I said probably. We can't even ascertain the year model of the cars. Probably because it's a Fintail. It's a 300. You don't see many Fintail 300s. Of
course.
And then the inside looks and smells brand new. And then there's a couple of other favorites which are in his private barn, but you know, those are just too gorgeous even to mention. So I would say just keep watching your websites, keep watching the streams. They'll be released next week.
If you've got a couple of million rand lying around, or you want to buy all 200, probably 200 million rand lying around, go on to creativerides.co.za, register. Geoff, speaking to you, you said you got goosebumps. I've got goosebumps just thinking about this. Can there be another barn find in South Africa bigger than this? Or can we definitively say this is the biggest?
This is the biggest to date.
Yeah.
I've been auctioning for 30 years. I've never seen this. But, you know, that is a fact. Remember that it'll be close to 400 lots in a week or two's time, and it is no reserve.
Unbelievable. We've probably got Worm Pitt watching this and thinking, 200, wait until you see my 400 I release onto market. Been amazing chatting to you, wishing you and the team the very best.
Thank you.
It's going to be a great success.
We're going to have some fun.